Vin Weber, is Donald Trump toxic down ballot? Senate candidates, congressional candidates, state house races?
He's becoming much more toxic than he was. I mean, it's the in some places it's clear that he is. I mean, in suburban areas, we saw that in the 2018 elections with Republican losses in suburban areas, mainly tied to Trump's unpopularity in what had been traditionally Republican suburban areas. I think that's very, very dangerous for Republicans down ballot. But I also think, I mean, I watch and listen to the arguments about how Republican candidates need to separate themselves from the president, and there's some evidence that they're trying to do that. I just don't think that usually works. I've watched it. I've not participated in it because I didn't try to separate myself from the Republican presidents when I was running, but it's very, very hard to effectively separate yourself from the president of your own party unless you are an extraordinarily skilled and uniquely identified candidate in your own right.
So it sounds like, Finn, what you're saying in effect is that if the race is starting to gel with Donald Trump behind by, some margin, the Republican majority in the Senate is very much at risk.
Oh, absolutely. No question it's at risk. If the election were held today, and we know that it's not, they would lose the Senate. And the only caveat I put on it is the candidates that are struggling on the Republican side are good candidates. I mean, we've been through election cycles where, you look at the roster of candidates incumbents that you have to defend, and you think, how did those people ever get elected in the first place? Well, that's not the case this time. And we have some very endangered Republican candidates who may well lose, but they are good candidates. Cory Gardner in Colorado is behind, but he's a very good candidate. Tom Tillis in North Carolina is behind, but he's a very good candidate. Susan Collins in Maine is behind. These are not people that you look at and say they're losers that shouldn't have been there in the first place, and they may be able to pull it out.